Yo, what's the vibe? RasLunacy back again with day 5 monk mode and possibly the final daily update for monk mode. And I think I'll be discontinuing monk mode as well to a degree, but not in totality. And I'll explain. So for monk mode, what I've been doing for the past 5 days, I've been cutting off my vices, as well as I've sort of been fasting as well in a way, as well as I've also been I've been off social media, and I'm sure there's a few other things I've been doing or not been doing what I usually do. But as you can see from the title says live in your truth, and what that means is over these 5 days I've come to realize that not necessarily everything I've stopped doing was hindering my life, and it was more of how I was doing certain things. Now, this is mostly with regards to social media, because even though I've been off most socials, I've kept Snapchat, and I've kept Snapchat 1 for snap streaks, and 2 so I can actually communicate with friends, because socializing is important. Now, what do I mean by living your truth? Well, what social media does, or what it can do, it allows you to see other person's opinions on things, and maybe even person's opinion of yourself as well. But what it can do, if you find persons with differing opinions to your opinion, you can either start going against what people are saying, or you can change your own opinion on the matter because you believe in what's being said. Now, the reality is, you shouldn't care what's being said on social media about any topic. You should always use logics, facts, and figures, and your own personal judgment to make a decision on anything, on any topic. So I'm going to be getting into some. I'll give an example. One topic I'm very, very good at debating, and to be honest, I don't think it's even possible to debate me on this topic, would be veganism, and the importance of veganism, and the moral obligation people have toward veganism. I think veganism is a bigger moral obligation than taking the I shouldn't even say this, because YouTube picks it up, and once they pick it up, they want to put it in your description and all over the thing. But I think it's even more important than taking the vaccine. And you might say, damn, this nigga's got no sense. He has no clue what he's talking about. But let me explain myself. Let me explain the logics between the facts. Let me explain the facts. Let me explain the figures, and let me explain the logic behind it. How much people have COVID killed this year? Now, one might say the vaccines have helped because they have helped it to be this low, but I believe it's 5 million people have died from COVID. It might be less. It might be about 4.5. Now, you might say, how can you as a person know that 5 million people have died in the past 2 years from COVID-19, and you think we should not be taking the vaccine? Well, because there are far more important things killing people around the world that the media does not show us, that social media ignores, because the media wants to push the narrative that the vaccine is important. The only reason this is being pushed is for money purposes. It's important, but it's mostly for money purposes. The people who make the vaccines, they want their cash, man. So initially, when COVID-19 came out here in England, the idea was, the initial idea Boris had was, yo, we're not going to do anything about it. He's spoken to his team of scientists, and they have concluded, this was their original conclusion. They concluded that the best way to go about this was to continue doing everything as if nothing is happening, to continue our lives like nothing is happening, to just pretend like it's not happening. And he said, yes, people will die, but most people will recover. And the people who do recover will develop a natural immunity, aka what the vaccine is doing, will develop a natural immunity by developing by their body combating it, the antibodies that their body would have built, and they would become not necessarily completely immune, but they would be very much, it would be similar to getting the vaccine. Getting COVID-19 is literally similar to taking the vaccine. Now, this was his original plan, to just let it run wild and let some persons die. That, it sounds like a dick move, but you know, if I was a dictator in a country, I probably would have said just let it run wild for real. You know, people with elderlies and persons with underlying health issues would pass. But I have asthma. I could be one of those people who pass. And I've realized that Boris, after he got the COVID-19, after he got the virus himself, he decided that, yo, nah man, we're gonna start doing this no movement thing. I'm gonna start doing this mask thing. Now I am in full support of if you want to nip it in the bud. Let's say your country only has doesn't have many cases, then no movement and a complete lockdown would be very important, to just nipping it in the bud right there. However, letting it run free and letting herd immunity come would also reap similar results. A lot of people, this is their first pandemic. But if you look in the past, what's happening with COVID at the minute, the amount of deaths that this global pandemic has caused is quite minuscule compared to a lot of, it's minuscule compared to Ebola, it's minuscule compared to other similar SARS viruses, it's minuscule compared to the Black Death. And you know, you could say that, oh, you know, technology has improved to a point where now these things aren't supposed to affect us as much. You might be right, but I'm just saying this in a way to say heart disease has been killing people far more than COVID-19. Heart disease is caused, and this is a hard word to pronounce what I'm about to say, but I'll attempt it anyways. I hate trying to pronounce it. Atherosclerosis, which is the clogging of arteries. Plaque build up in your arteries, it clogs the arteries, not enough blood gets to your heart or your brain or whatever, causes heart disease. Well, not enough blood gets to your heart, you get heart disease, you get heart attacks, etc, etc. It's still the #1 killer. It's still killing more than triple people per year than COVID-19 is. And what do you know what causes atherosclerosis? What causes heart disease? Cholesterol, bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. How do you get LDL cholesterol in your body? By eating animal products. Yes, so this comes full circle back to my veganism thing. So health-wise, I believe veganism is it outweighs far more things that people actually think about. And because the media doesn't pressure us into eating healthy, because the media doesn't put it in our face that McDonald's is killing more people than COVID-19 per year, we kind of like to, because we don't talk about how the meat industry and animal industry are still profiting off of large-scale poor the factory farming is that the animal industry, I'm trying to find the best way how to say it, but they have poor conditions in these factories. I'll just leave it like that. And this is easily researchable. This is everywhere, but yet somehow the media pushes this outside of you. We don't see it. The media pushes it away. They try to not let anyone see. And if you talk to the vast number of people about going vegan, they're almost always against it. They don't understand that this shit's killing more people than the virus itself. And it's not even just about the health part. More important, the incoming thing after this COVID-19 is most likely going to be about global warming and greenhouse gases, and the fact that our world is literally coming to an end because of pollution. Let's get it right. Pollution. But did you know that the same animal industry is one of the biggest causes of global warming at the moment? It's literally we're literally not just killing ourselves personally, but we're killing our whole planet on a whole by the majority of people not being vegan. And people like to give the argument, oh, it's not viable to go for everyone to go vegan because there's not going to be enough food. And that's completely false, because to feed cattle and all these animals, we have to use more grains than the normal human would eat. We would literally solve almost even world hunger by more people going vegan. We would almost, and outside of just the environmental issues and the personal health issues, there's also the moral obligation that us as humans aren't as omnivorous as you may think. Most omnivores, like bears, have sharper teeth, have different have different intestinal loadouts than we do. They were literally built like monkeys in terms of our digestive system. And what do monkeys mostly eat? Plants. We literally can live on plants and be vegan from child to adult, and it would be healthy for us. There would be no issue. We would not have any form of like, there are a few vitamins that may be an issue. B12 might be a bit difficult to come by. I know vitamin D can sometimes be an issue as well. But did you know that vitamin B12 is literally injected as a supplement into cows and other types of animals, because they themselves don't have enough B12 inside of them? B12 comes from soil. It comes from the dirt. And because because we're so into cleaning and making sure things are clean, the animals we eat have to be supplemented with B12. So why don't we take the supplement ourselves? So this is coming full circle, just to say, I won't go into detail. I can post links, I can post the peer review studies for all of these things. There's far more detail I can get into to prove my points. But this is just me glancing over a few things, just to show you how the media allows you to see one thing while ignoring another thing. So what you need to do is stop focusing on the media, stop focusing on social media, and focus on yourself. Focus on using facts, figures, and logic to make decisions in your life. Now, living in your truth means, personally, I have realized by using social media and seeing everyone's opinions on things, it knocks me off my pivot, meaning it makes me angry almost. It upsets me sometimes to see people tweet things that I know is BS, and the people can be so wrong and strong on the internet a lot of the time, and it literally hurts me to not reply to people sometimes, because I know they're being idiotic a lot of the time. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've never been wrong or I've never tweeted something that's been wrong. But you bring the facts and the figures to me, and there's nothing I can say. I've got to just retract my statement and say you're right and I'm wrong. And I think the problem people have today is that no one likes to be wrong. You need to learn that being wrong is good, because it means the next time you will be right. You have to be wrong at some point in order to start being right. So it's literally, you proving me wrong should be a good thing, because it means I've learned something new today. Do you understand that? It means this is just to say, I'm going out on a tangent and all of that now, but this is just to say that I feel like I'll be discontinuing monk mode. I'm going to be re-downloading social media. Certain things I'm still gonna cut off. I won't be getting back into smoking, and I won't be getting back into releasing my seed. But I'll be re-downloading social media. Not all, but I'll be re-downloading social media, and I'm planning to mute, block, and purge people who I feel can be wrong and strong and don't like being proven wrong, or don't want to admit to when they're wrong. And by that, I believe my social medias will more or less give me more peace of mind than they will give me stress and make me upset for people saying madness. But that being said, this will probably be the final daily update. My next update will probably be 7 days semen retention instead of monk mode, because now that I'm back on social media, it's no longer considered monk mode to me. But anyways, this video is getting very long, and this is just me to that. I'm just here to say, live in your truth. Facts, figures, and logic. Don't listen to what the media has to say. Not even the large-scale media. I've just proved to you that all the news stations talking about COVID are ignoring the bigger things. They're ignoring global warming. They're ignoring things like how more people are dying from eating animal products. But somehow they want to press this vaccine thing into us, and it's a money-making thing. It's always the money. And the reason they won't tell you about the food thing is because that's also a money-making thing. It's all about money for the 1%. Anyways, let me not get too in-depth with you guys right now, because some of you don't have the logic up here yet. But all I'm saying is, do your research. You don't have to take my word for it. Do your research. Now, that's been RasLunacy signing out.